In this session, I want to explain about Revolve and sweep command. First, Revolve command. Creates a 3D solid or surface by sweeping an object around an axis. Open profiles create surfaces, and closed profiles can create either a solid or a surface. The mode option controls is a solid or surface is created. Revolve paths and profile curves can be open or closed, planar or non-planar, solid and surface edges, a single object, a single region. You can't revolve objects contained within a block or objects that will self-intersect. Revolves ignores the width of the polyline and revolves from the center of the path of the polylines. The right-hand rule determines the positive direction of rotation. First, you should specify the objects to be revolved about an axis. For example, this line, pressing through. Object X, Y, Z, or you can select the start point and end point axis. Axis start point specifies the first point of the axis of revolution. The positive axis direction is from the first to the second point. Axis end points sets the end points for the axis of revolution. For example, this one and this one. A start angle or reverse expression. A start angle specifies an offset for a revolution from the plane of the object being revolved. Drag your cursor to specify and preview the start angle of the object. For example, the start angle 90, 120. From 90, 120 degree. Or another revolve. $360. Angle of revolution specifies how far the selected object revolves about the axis. A positive angle revolves the object in a counterclockwise direction. A negative angle revolves the object in a clockwise direction. You can also drag the cursor to specify and preview the angle of revolution. You can use line, linear polylines, segments, and linear edges of solid or surface as an axis, like this one. Sets the positive x-axis of the current UCS as a positive axis direction. Set the positive y-axis of the current UCS as a positive axis direction. Sets the positive z-axis of the current UCS as a positive axis direction. And reverse, change the direction of the revolve, similar to entering a minus angle value. Expression enter a formula or equation to specify the revolve angle. I want to explain the difference between closed object and open object. You can see the difference between closed object and open object. Remove this object, 360, remove this object, press enter, this line of the object, 360, 160. Now I want to explain about sweep commands. Creates a 3D solid or 3D surface by sweeping a 2D object or sub-object along an open or closed path. Open-ended object creates 3D surfaces, while objects that enclose an area can be set to create either 3D solids or 3D surfaces. To automatically delete the original geometry used to create the object, use the del object system variable. For associative surfaces, the del object system variable is ignored and the originating geometry is not deleted. First, you should specify an object to use as a sweep profile. For example, this object. Press Enter. And for the path, specify the sweep path based on the object you select. And another one, sweep this object path. In the next session, I want to explain about polysolids and pressable comments. In this session, I want to explain about polysolid and pressable comments. First, polysolid comment. Creates 3D solid in the shape of wall or series of walls. You can create 3D walls with straight and curved segments of constant height and width. You can create a 3D solid with polysolid just as you would a polyline. You can also convert existing 2D objects such as lines, 2D polylines, arcs, and circles to a 3D solid with a default height, width, and justification. You can start with a start point, like this. Or you can start like this with object, height, width, justify. Object specify the selection of a 2D object to convert to a 3D solid. Height specify the height of the polysolid segment. Width specifies the width of the polysolid segments. Justify specify where the width of the polysolid to be placed at the center, left, or right of the polysolid profile, or defining to the object. For example, 2500 is related to millimeters. Width 300. Justify left object. Height 1200. Object. Its closed polyline. An arc adds an arc segment to a polysolid profile. The default starting direction of the arc is tangent to the previous segment. We can specify a different starting direction with the direction option. Close closes the polysolid by creating a linear or arc segment from the last vertex to the start of the polysolid profile. Direction specifies the arc segment by setting a starting, tangent direction, and endpoint. Line exists the arc prompt and returns a straight line segment. Undo removes the most recent arc segment added to the polysolid. Close closes the polysolid by creating a line or arc segment from the last point specified to a starting point of the polysolid. At least 3 points must be specified to use this option. Undo removes the most recent segment added to a polysolid. Arc. Now I want to explain about press pull command. Dynamically modifies object by extrusion and offset. Give visual feedback as you move the cursor after selecting a 2D object, an area formed by a closed boundary or a 3D solid face. The press or pull behavior responds to the type of object you select to create extrusions and offsets. The command repeats automatically until you press Escape, Enter, or Spacebar. Object or bounded area. Select the object, bounded area, or 3D solid face that you want to modify. Selecting a face extrudes the face without affecting the adjacent faces. If you press Ctrl plus click a face, the face is offset and the change also affects the adjacent faces. Multiple specifies that you want to make more than one selection. You can also Shift plus click to make multiple selections. And offset distance, if you select the face of a 3D solid, specify the offset while moving the cursor or entering a distance. Extrusion height, if you select a 2D object or clicked inside a closed area, specify an extrusion height by moving the cursor or entering a distance. The extrusion direction of a planar object is normal to a planar object and in the Z direction of the current UCS for non-planar objects. For example, press pull, $2,500, 2,500, 1,200. It's the difference between closed polyline in press pull command and polyline solid. In the next session, I want to explain about union, subtract, and intersect line.